Dustin Schneider, an NCAA champion, US World Team member, Pan American champion. I'm thrilled to be working with Fanatic Wrestling, bring you guys some high-level technique and content. Today we're going to go over a lot of the offense and defense that helped me become successful. A lot of attacks from my feet, inside ties, control ties, and some turns on top. We're going to start by doing a shrug or a slide by. Now, when we do this, we're using a lot of this guy's momentum. We've got to get him to pressure into us. I start with the collar tie. Carter's got a collar tie. There's a couple different ways we'll go through that. You can do this, but again, keep in mind that we need this guy to really push it into us. We need to use his momentum and his pressure. So the first way, I think the best way to learn, is we're just going to bump this arm right above the elbow. I'm going to bump it. As I do that, I'm going to turn and shrug my shoulders. So I turn 180 degrees. Shrug my shoulders and bump. Kick my outside leg up. So again, we're turning and shrugging. That's really, with this momentum, the turn and the shrug, that's where we get most of the move. This just helps kind of knock the arm out of the way. Kick my outside leg up. As we do it, think about looking at my watch, right? So I'm not bumping it straight up, I'm going to the side, and I'm looking at my watch as I go. I'll get it off. Again, if this guy's back down, it's not going to work. We really have to have him push it into us. So, bump, make a fist right above his elbow. I turn and I shrug. Kick this outside leg up to get that turn. Let's get a little momentum. Pull him right down. Turn and shrug. When we shrug, that kind of pops his arm off us. Now the other way, I'd say the second way to get into this is we're just going to dangle our arm over top, and I'm going to grasp on the arm, turn, shrug, kick my outside leg up, pull that by. Now just to show you, I don't even need to bump or pull. I mean, we do for wrestling, but it's a very small part of this move. So if he's pressured in, I don't even need to do that. So the key is that pressure, that momentum, shrugging my shoulders, turn 180 degrees. I finish. Again, shrug and turn. That's really it. This bump or the pull just kind of helps guide this arm by. Now, as we're doing it, we want to kick this outside leg up. It helps us turn, it helps us generate a little momentum, but also it clears our leg. So if I just do it, don't move my foot, you can step over this thing. We're in a dog fight, we're scrambling. So I want to clear this leg out of the way, but also it helps me turn. So kick it up just like I'm doing a wizard kick. Helps turn my body. So again, we have the bump just above the elbow, turn, kick, shrug. Or I'm latching over top. As I go, this just guides the body. But again, we're using that pressure and that momentum. So there's two ways we can do it. The third way, again, open motion, everything's very similar. This time, I like to have my head on the collar tie side. I got elbow bind, control this elbow here. Again, everything else is the same. Kick my outside leg up, shrug, turn, pass that right by. Head on my collar tie side. I use this pressure, shrug, turn, kick my outside leg up. Shrug, turn, passing that by. And once we pass this, we're behind him, usually we'll just rotate him right down. Like I said, a lot of times we need him to be pressured in, so he's just going to fall right down once we get it. Otherwise, we built the finish, I lifted. For some back points there, but if we do it right, the guy should fall down and hands go to the mat. So we have three ways. First one is just bump, look at your wristwatch as you turn, shrug, pass it by, rotate him down. I'm coming over top. A lot of times I'll kind of push him in the face, get him a little pissed off, really get him to come at me here. That just guides him right by. And then third, take my head, and it doesn't have to be on this side, that's how I like to do it. We can still do it for squared up. but I like that rotation I get when my head's buried. So 3 ways. Pump. We're gonna pull by. Then we're going for elbow bind. If you notice, all the motion is pretty identical. We need them coming into us, we need that pressure and momentum. And again, kick the outside leg up, shrug my shoulders, and turn. That's how you do slap leg. Next we'll do an over tie shrug. Very similar to other slide by shrugs, same type of motion here. This time he's got a collar tie. I'm tying over, reaching across to the head, right on the neck here. Now again, we gotta use this pressure and momentum. He's backpedaling, it's not gonna work. We gotta make sure we're pushing in, get that reaction, get him to push back into us. And I have to go to the elbow, or just above the elbow, and thumb to the outside. Using that momentum, I'm gonna shrug my shoulders. Again, kick my outside leg up, and turn 180 degrees, right by. And ideally, his hands will go to the mat, I'll get my takedown. He's got a collar tie, I got over tie. I'm reaching right above the elbow, my thumbs to the outside. I'm using that momentum, that pressure he's giving me. Kick my outside leg up, turn, shrug my shoulders. That's that right leg. And again, if we're wrestling real time, he's really pressuring in. So you go down, easy takedown there. Now a lot of times, what's gonna happen is we'll catch this near ankle. So pressure in, I go over tie, I shrug, I'm looking for my free hand that's on the elbow. Once he goes by, I just catch that ankle, right in my single leg. So again, you've got a collar tie, I come over top, I'm rotating, shrug my shoulders, kick my outside leg up, as he passes, catch an ankle, I can finish like a single. Another thing that works is just get him to move, right? So as I go to hit my pass, he's gonna circle back, right to my tag. Typically would be a double leg or a high C on that far side. But we're looking for him to overcorrect himself. So I go over tie, shrug, just above the elbow. Once I pass, he turns hard. And notice my hand stays with the collar tie, and I'm just turning it out. As he circles, I go with him, turn that thing out, and his legs are open on the far side. So again, shrug. Right to our far side attack. So over tie, thumb to the outside, shrug, turn. As he circles out, I continue to turn his face out. Time that shot. So we're attacking the far side. So I'm starting by attacking this side, finish by attacking this side. He turns. Just really working that angle, making him circle hard right into our attack on that far side. Another option we have, as I'm shrugging by, as he turns, I keep his leg right in my foot swing. Just as he's about to step away to that leg, is when we want to take that out. Turn, foot sweep. And again, my hand stays on that collar so I can kind of control his head. So, we use this pressure, I'm shrugging, I'm turning, kick my outside leg up, passing it by. If we do it right, we get that timing, it goes right down. And if that doesn't work, we're still going to have some opportunities here. I'm going to go into this ankle, catch. This time he overcorrects, turn sneaks, attack that far side. Lastly, go, let's sweep. Go. That's over tie shrug. Get into our collar tie pass by. This time, for my collar tie position, partner's gonna grab my elbow. Now what we're gonna do is just kind of pass this by. I want everything to get nice and tight, and then it's gonna kind of spring and push this head away as I get that corner. So again, this works when he has my elbow from the collar tie. Then I let everything get in nice and tight here, just like the springs of a coil. Pop it out, right in that angle. So a good way to learn this and feel what it should be like is if this guy's going elbow to the far ankle attack, he's going far ankle, just pop it on by, let everything get nice and tight, punch that on. As I do that, I'm looking for that corner. So he goes far ankle with elbow, pass it by, that's That's a good way to kind of feel how it should be. And as you get better, you can time it. And again, just punching that arm, everything gets in nice and tight, punch. And I'm trying to get that angle on the far side. Just get behind that arm. And really want his head to go down and then out. Then I cover this side. I'm good. Again, another thing that works pretty well, this guy's pressured in, so I'm going to give him some pressure, pressure back. Just kind of popping that by. So as you're learning it, have a partner go elbow, far ankle attack. It's a really good way to feel that. Now a lot of times, even if I don't get the corner on this, it's a good way just to clear this position. If I feel like this guy's good with elbow control, he's got ducks or different tricks, I can just pop this off just to clear that position. Now I'm still inside. Clear that elbow. And go and attack. So a good way to clear this elbow bind. So he has elbows, everything gets nice and tight, just like the coils of a spring. Up by with that corner. Now, for high level stuff, we want to give a little fake. We want this guy to really be turning this way that I'm throwing the head. So what I'll do is I'll just fake down. Just before I go, just to help myself get that corner and that angle. Go in that corner. Partner's got elbow. I just reach down, change elbows a little bit just to show I want to go to my left. Pop that by. I got that corner. Now, another time I use this is if I want to force an overhook. I like the overhook position. So if I pass this by, a lot of times we're going to go right into an underhook. I'm doing my overhook offense. So again, if I don't get a big angle, last ditch effort, this guy's got to reach for something. He's got to reach and he's going to end up in an underhook. So if we like that position, opens up a lot of new attacks and offense from there. So again, I have collar tie, partner's got elbow, and just to learn it, just to feel what it should be like, it's good if you can do a far ankle pick. Popping that by, just that motion. The head should go down and away. Comes up. And cover. Once we get that down, a lot of times you'll like to take the opposite side, just lean. Get that corner. So again, push the head down and away. Let everything get nice and tight. Spring by. As I roll that corner. And again, we can use it to clear this. If I feel uncomfortable, like he's got something here, he's working with something, pop it away. I still control the distance there. So we still want to keep hands on it, but it clears that. Then finally, if we're going to force an overhook, there's it. So again, elbow, and overhook. Collar tie pass by. Now we're getting to a low-level duck or a screw here that I had a lot of success with. So this time I'm going to go for elbow control, elbow bind. Now if the guy's got a collar tie or he's up high, I need to drop it down low. And so one way to do this that I like is I'm going to pull it to the side. I'm going to clear it all the way, but I want to drop it down a little lower. And as I do that, I'm going to pop my shoulder in here. So I pop my shoulder in so it kind of pinches it. Now I rotate it back to the elbow. And that's where I want that good pull I want to have. So a lot of times guys will just tie it like this where you want. So if they're up a little higher, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, pop my shoulder. Here. Now it drops low enough. Now I have the elbow. Now the head's on the far side. And again, like we talked about earlier, I want to distract them, play a little cat and mouse on this far side here. I'm going to think, this is what I'm worried about. We need to get him to forget about this elbow. So we're going to pull, move him here. And now, as I go to hit my duck, it's a big pull here. And my head's on the opposite side, so it's a big rotation underneath. But I really want him to fall on his face. Use pressure in, that helps a lot. It's hard just backpedaling, but I want to sell this other side of his body. So what I'll do is I'll play with this wrist, and then I'll actually take a little step in and just lean into the far side here, which makes him just start turning his body the way I want, right? So I step in here, and now I'm changing directions, pulling, hand close on the mat, throw this by, here. And now, my outside leg's up, and I'm ready to just turn and cover. Again, if we get that timing and the pressure right, it should fall. We just get a cue. So again, he's up high. I'm just gonna pull this thing down, pop my shoulder up here. Now I rotate it back around. I got this elbow control. Hands on the opposite side. I want to forget about this elbow, right? So I gotta take this wrist, start playing over here. Now I'm just gonna take a little step, and I change levels just to make them think I'm going to this opposite side. So he reacts over here. Now I rotate underneath. Hand goes to the mat. Here. Again, pop this down, just right here. You know, sometimes you end up in double, sometimes you end up in single. Distraction, a good fake, lean this way, rotate, turn here. Boom. We could end up high C double, single, or get into that leg. Really, we could just throw this like single. That's that big pull. But we get that pressure, a good fake, we time it well, then we'll just fall over top of us. So again, I call it elbow control, but really, we be a little higher up. Just this good pull we want. We want to distract them over here, play these games with us. Now I fake, and when I fake, I'm just taking a little step, just changing my level. And then I rotate, hand goes to the mat. There. Now I just pop right through. So again, just that collar, pop my shoulder in, put this thing down here. I rotate, got my elbow, I'm playing over here. Really gotta sell that. Elbow, take a slight little step, change levels. Now we rotate, big pull, and turn. Pull off, elbow, fake, step, rotate. Good legs. Alright, now working on incorporating some arm drags. Arm drags are great. Obviously, they're things we can score off of and get them a lot of different ways. But I think I like to do them in setting up my shots just to get this guy to turn and have to readjust and working on angles. So if this guy's grabbing my wrist, I like that a lot. He grabs my wrist. Now I can lead him where I want him to go, right? He grabs my wrist, I pull this way. I step the outside. Now I got my angle. And not necessarily going to score on that, you certainly could, but puts me in a good position to get that angle. Right in my double, my high C, or get him patient, and back to that single. But it keeps him honest, makes him have to correct himself, which opens him up to some attacks. Again, positions everything. Make sure I fit position. My shoulders are nice and tight. I'm ready to attack, or I can be more patient. Wait till he circles. Come back and attack that far side. But again, we're pulling this thing where we want to. So I usually want to pull it down because weight going forward, get away from where I'm attacking. So again, got my wrist, pull where I want. I'm going to follow, drag, make it react. Now it reacts. Do our attacks. Same thing, I'm posting on his head, goes to peel that, I just gotta react. Now we just time that shot. Just beginning, go, that's my single. I post the other side, this is now my single side. So again, I'm dictating where we're going with this thing. Drag it, elbow goes in deep, right in my single leg. Press the wrist. Hold down. What's up? So just different ways. Arm drags are a great way to just create motion. Certainly we can score from them, but taking a breath. So again, if you grab my wrist, we can really dictate where we're going. Pull this way. And we can score. Or for its face, again, post it on its head. Right, my single leg, or in its 1-1. And post on my high crop side. Again, make sure we get head position. My shoulders are nice and tight. down which side I post. Single leg. Back across. Those 2 hands on the wrist. Just take a top hand. Again, just force him to react. Make him open himself up. Now we're going to get into inside single leg. I'll show you the setups I like to use and how I typically finish this. Now usually when I do finishes, a lot of things they work in tandem, so if one's not there, the other will be. If I force one, the other opens up. So to start, I'm going to have the far side collar tie, and I like to wrestle with my head on my collar tie out front. I like to be able to move my head. Head position is one of the most important things in wrestling. So just think about where my head is as I'm going through this. I bury my head as another layer of protection. And for this single leg, if I have my head on the far side, I really get an extra little bit of pull here. As I change levels, I want to pull him. I'm pulling. So he's falling down. So I'm really pulling as I go to that single leg. When I head on the far side, I get a little more rotation here. I'm taking a step to the outside. Step to the outside, and I want my knee to rotate right in front of his toe. Just next to it. So again, collar tie. As I change levels, I'm pulling. I want his weight to go forward and off the leg that I'm attacking. I want this to be nice and light for me. So again, I got a collar tie. Head's buried on my collar tie side. I'm changing levels, rotating underneath his head. And as I do that, I'm pulling. I step to the outside. I rotate my knee just in front of his toe. Bring my head inside single. Now again, collar tie. Now my free side, I'm going to beat this hand. So what I'll do is I'll play some cat and mouse games with him here. If I get wrist control, I pull on the outside with my thumb down. He's trying to fight this back in. I just tie this if he reaches. If I'm ducking underneath it by single. So again, collar tie, head's buried. If I can stay inside, it's always good. But we're playing with this wrist. Get him to reach. Actually throw in a little tap. Get him to chase my hand and clear that defense on that side. So I clear this arm. And again, as I do that, change levels, I'm rotating, I'm pulling this head down to the mat, get all the way off this leg I'm tagging. Again, post it out and chase, pulling hard. I'm getting a really nice big angle there. If I don't get that big angle, I'm still going to chase that corner. He sprawls on me. First thing I want to do is get my elbow down to the mat. Elbow goes to the mat, my ball comes up, and I'm sitting. I don't want to sit on my butt, throw my hips up. That puts all my weight on his leg and my elbow. So it's really hard for him to circle with me. Now I step over the leg, push it out, chase that far ankle, shove that leg up. Elbow to the mat. Again, if my lock's down low, he can step over top of it. Up, and then he does his rubber knee, his way on me on the jumbo, just or a stalemate. So we gotta turn our lock up high, so he can't step over it. And again, all my weight should be on his leg and on my elbow, not on my butt. But instead of circling here, I go here, which puts a lot more torque on his leg. Circle, circle, step over. Now we reach across. So again, collar tie, give it a chase this wrist. Lock is up, all the weight's on his leg, my elbow here, elbows on the mat, hips are up, but I'm not sitting on my butt. Hips are up. Step over, slide that out, reach across, chase. Then pay particular attention to where your head position is. Make sure we can move our head. I like to have it buried, so I get lock is up, bring some elbow, slide that out, switch over. So now we're going to our secondary finish from our head and side single when we're on the mat. Now we just did chase the ankle. Now the more I try to get this ankle, the more this cutback will open up. But we'll start the same way, collar tie. My head's on my collar tie side, getting a good pull. As I go to my single, I'm looking for this corner because he squares up. I'm gonna step my trail leg up, and I'm gonna look up, get my hips underneath me, and really look into his armpit. This way. So we're changing directions using his momentum. So we're banking on really sprawling and getting this hip down. I'm just changing directions. So as we do this, the key is, once I'm in this position, he's giving me these hips and I can't get this corner. So I gotta step up with my free leg. I'm dropping to both knees, my hips are underneath me. And I wanna get his legs off the mat, ideally. I'm turning in, looking at his armpit, split. Now obviously, if we ever have his legs split, we're always gonna keep him that way, keep his legs split, so depending on how he reacts, he turns away, he stays in. I keep him split, look for back one side. So again, he's really getting this. He get that corner, step back up, and I look in, I rotate, and then keeping his legs split, looking for some back points. It's a little hard to drill, slow motion, but single leg, he fights it, I rotate in, look up, and keep my hips underneath me. Chest is high, head is up. So this guy's anticipated the single leg. Maybe I just hit that, got in the corner, chase the ankle, now he's gonna know what's coming, he's really gonna give me the hips. Changing direction. And the harder I work for this angle, he squares. Again. As I have a single, I rotate, step my trail leg up, look up and in. Keep his feet off the mat. That way he can't spring. That's head inside single cutback. So we'll go head inside single and working on finishing from our feet. If we got a single leg and bring it up, this increases the odds of us finishing. It's a lot harder for this guy hopping on one leg here. So if anytime we can shoot our attack, get up to our feet, then that's really what we should be looking for. So hit my single leg and drive it right up. Now, we're gonna make sure our position is the most important thing really with any position we're in wrestling. The position is always number one, and that is our heads up, our back straight, elbows are bent, I'm on the balls of my feet. Now from this position, we want to make sure we keep this leg on the inside of our legs. I'm going to give him some pressure here. As he pressures back, all I'm going to do is I'm going to sidestep, I'm going to run the pipe or dump. I'm just going to step, turn my foot, my back leg swings behind me and I snap his leg. So again, single leg, drive up to my feet. Make sure our positioning is good. My hips should be right in his chest. My elbows are in. On the balls of my feet. Good athletic position. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a little pressure. And as soon as I feel the pressure back into me, I'm going to turn, slightly turn my front leg. Back leg swings behind. I just snap his leg. Right to the mat. And again, looking to keep his legs crossed. If I go elbow deep, we have an opportunity for some back points there. So if we're doing a drill, we can just work on grabbing the leg, circle in, circle back. Grab it in, circle back. Small choppy steps here. Now I want to circle my hips in front of his. I don't want to go behind him. I need my hips to go in front of him. So he's hopping backwards, right? Get him to hop backwards, but we need that pressure. And this works best when he's pushing in and he's got a lot of weight on him, right? So I almost can just step, he falls, minimal amount of pressure. So again, just getting comfortable, pushing in, circle, pushing in, circle. Small choppy steps here. So as soon as I get my single, I drive in. Now he pressures a little bit back into me. Now you can see his weight's on me. His legs are a little spread. Little turn, my front leg, back leg steps behind. Snap. So again, small turn, step behind, and just snap like I'm snapping football. Just like I'm a long snapper. As we do that, it helps a little bit if my palm is open and kind of support his calves, his foot doesn't hit on the mat. we're using that pressure we gotta have it coming into us. So right off my single, right in, press back, snap. Always look at split legs. Another thing, as we're doing this, as we're hitting our single and driving up, I'd like to have my back, the hand lock over top of my front hand. My front hand locks over top, you can reach down and peel this off a lot easier, whereas my back hand's on top, it's a lot harder for the peel that. So back hand should be locked on top, pressure in, pressure back, his legs are spread, he's got weight on me, slight turn, back leg swings, just snap quick. So that's the dump around the pipe. Now the secondary finish, my single leg, I go to run the pipe, and for him to stop this, he needs to bring his leg close. He needs to hop towards me. Essentially take all his weight off me. So look, he's hopping. He's bringing that leg close. There's no weight on me, so I'm gonna step my front leg off, changing levels. My shoulder should go to the back of his leg, his hamstring, and now I'm just shooting across to the far leg. Action both. So again, I give that dump feel first. If it doesn't work, he's got to take the weight off me and hop in closer. I step my front leg back. As I do that, I change levels. Now I reach behind and I actually penetrate through him to that far leg. So if we're doing this slowly, pause. As I step off, his front leg, I step and change levels. Here. Now, if Cleveland walks away from me, I'm in a position just like I'm hitting the double leg on my feet. I actually penetrate to that back leg. So again, we'll run that pipe first, get the hop closer, run, step, change levels. Now I penetrate, I'm reaching behind. The leg secure with my front arm, back arm reaches across, penetrate, go. Drive up, give the pressure. Now we're going to go through a misdirection where I duck double. So this starts off with we're showing single leg, head side single leg, and I really want this guy to react really hard. So when he sprawls to the single leg side, I'm just basically going to peek out to the far side. It's just like a single leg finish we did on the mat where we're cutting the guy back. Very similar, but I'm kind of going into this with the intention of the single turning into a double leg. So I'm starting off, I'm taking my snap and reach into the single leg side. As he pulls that back, my trail leg steps up, and I just rotate around and I pull this original single leg side into my body. Rotate. And I'm using his momentum, the momentum he's creating with that sprawl. Changing direction. So we gotta look at the single leg, that penetration step I'm doing is more of a jab step, right? Step in, and then right away, re-step in, swing into the far side. So this is gonna work, especially if I've showed, I'm doing single, I'm looking for single, I go for it a couple of times, I get it, now he's really gonna overcorrect himself and sprawl that leg back. So again, to go off our setup here, collar tie into the far side. I'm stepping, just getting my one hand on his single leg. As he pulls that back, I'm using this to pull myself to his body. I'm stepping my free leg, the back leg up, and just rotate him around. So we're anticipating a hard sprawl from the single leg. Rotate right out. So it's two steps. Kind of a jab step to start, I hold the leg, now my short leg steps up, and I rotate. Pulling that single leg into my body as I rotate, my head pops out that far side. So show single leg, this direction. Now we're going to our head outside attack, our high crotch. I like to do an outside step when I shoot the outside. So just kind of going along with our collar tie position. I had a lot of success from here. Like I said, I would have collar tie, head at the same said, that would show single leg. And once he really feels that coming, I'm going to change it up next. You can still kind of penetrate it within my back leg. He's going to step. That's my outside step. And I really flare my arm over top, right to the high seat. So we're attacking the opposite side of the body now. So if I'm going collar tie, outside step. My attack hand reaches as I step to the outside. Now again, I'm in a great position here. I'm just going to rotate, elbow deep, grab to my feet. So again, we're putting it with our single or misdirection attacks from the collar tie. It works while we show. I'm going single. I would change it up. Go outside. Outside leg steps as my attack hand reaches. And again, right away, get my elbow deep, get the weight into it. So if we're talking just outside step, good way to learn this, to get a good feel for it, is if I'm coming from the elbow control, and I'm just giving a good pull, outside step. So this allows me to change levels, especially if we're really tight. Sometimes it's hard to create enough space to change levels, step to a traditional knee over toe. This allows us to change levels without a lot of space. So again, a good way to learn it, you're just going from outside control, and I pull. As I pull, I hit my outside step, my attack hand reaches all at the same time. Here. I turn, rotate, elbow deep, get that weight into it. So once we get that feel down, then the best way I think to learn is from this elbow. Once we get that footwork down, you see a lot of guys doing it kind of, I think, more of a high level super duck type deal, whereas I'm going head, shoulder, as he reaches, outside step. Now to get really good at this outside step, you really don't even need to hit a knee. We just need to get low enough to get underneath the guy. But by going to a knee, we gotta fight all the way back to our feet. So sometimes you can avoid that. Now in. So get another way, just tap it on the head, shoulder. He gets that arm reaching up. Head and shoulder, outside step. So again, we're looking at it from this collar tie, I'm showing single, I'm mixing it up, flare the arm, outside step. Good way to learn it from this elbow bind. Big step, I pull, second hand goes in, my shoulder's right position, heads up, back straight, hips underneath me, get elbow deep. The weight into them. And then if we want to do it from space, again, more like a super duck, but I think it's a higher level. Tapping head, shoulder, get that arm to reach.